Why, hello everyone, how are you doing this fine day? Hope you're enjoying your week. Welcome to another survival challenge, in particular, a Primal survival challenge. Not gonna waste your time with this, I wanna get into the video. It's almost the weekend at the point that I'm recording this. I don't know when it might be the weekend when it comes out or after the week, I don't know. But I'm gonna try and get through this relatively quickly. If you don't know anything about Primal, never seen the show, don't know nothing about it, I had a video that talked about it earlier. I'm gonna link that up somewhere in the top. The basic premise of this video is I take 4 characters and I chuck them into the Primal universe to see how they might do if they're in there. That's it. That's everything. That's all you need to know. I've wasted enough of your time. Let's get started. First up on the list, we have Brock, the motherfucker Sampson from Venture Brothers. The man who men want to be and women name their vibrators after. That is a direct quote in the series. This dude is a motherfucking beast. During a training of OSI, they chucked him in a pool and sent a bunch of hammerhead sharks after them, which he killed with his bare hands. He once got into a fist fight with Sasquatch and won. At one point, he was captured by the enemy forces and they were trying to question him to get something that they needed, and he told them it was up his ass. So they started doing a cavity search, reaching their hand up his ass, and he crushed the dude's arm with his ass cheeks so hard that it shattered his arm all the way up to his fucking elbow, and then he just swung him around and killed everyone else in the room by just swinging his ass with this dude's fucking dead body. He once choked a man to death with his bare hand, not bare hand, bare hand, before being knocked out with tranquilizer darts, of which he had to have several hundred of them shot into his body before he actually went down. And after he did, they couldn't get the guy who he was choking out of his hand, even with a fucking crowbar, because of how strong his grip was. So they just buried him with the dude underground before he just regained consciousness and crawled his ass out from underground. He then proceeded to kill like basically all of them by running them all down with his car. Brock is a beast. He is a beast among beasts. Brock's awesome. Venture Brothers is awesome. Go watch it. The fact of the matter is that while Brock Sampson is one of, if not the most dangerous humans on planet Earth, he is still a human. He is just a dude. We've actually seen him go up against other superhuman beings, and he really can't do a whole lot about it. He would definitely be considered superhuman in our world, and even in the Venture Brothers, everybody basically treats him as he's more or less superhuman, despite the fact that he's really not technically in that world. He's just so fucking god-awesomely amazing that every single normal man that comes into contact with him basically looks at him as if he's some sort of godlike being. But he has very clearly been outclassed by other stronger characters within his own series. And if you're going to take him and dump him into the Primal universe, where there are literal giant fucking T-Rexes, huge megalodons, a fucking dinosaur zombie virus, giants, like actual legitimate giants, demon-possessed beings, witches that can control time, Brock just really doesn't stand that much of a chance. And while yes, in his own series he is super ridiculously overpoweredly strong compared to like regular dudes, honestly I think it would be a stretch to say that he's physically stronger or more powerful in any way than Spear. And Spear seriously struggles to survive in this universe. He has so many close calls. Actually, no joke, that would be a cool fucking fight. Spear versus Brock Sampson, I would watch that. Now the one thing that Brock does have going for him that I would say most of the characters on this list don't, is the fact that he has insane military training. He is a master of stealth. He is a master hunter. He can camouflage himself on the fly. He knows basically every way that you can kill any man or animal on Earth very easily. In his own series, he completely refuses to use any form of firearms because he considers it too easy, so he likes to use a Bowie knife. So we're not even taking him out of his comfort zone by putting him in a world where guns don't exist. He would be very comfortable with just taking a big ass knife and going and hunting fucking dinosaurs. I even think he would likely find it really, really fun. Brock Sampson absolutely adores murdering people. It's like his favorite thing. You dropping him somewhere like the Primal universe, where it's literally just constant fucking death, murder, hunting, eating people, like it's fucking chaos and death everywhere you go. Brock would actually have a lot of fun, but I do think he would very likely meet his match against a lot of different characters. He would not be able to deal with the giant fucking like black goop ape clans that, like, you know, they eat the black goop and they become super ridiculously Hulk versions of apes. He can't do anything about that. He can't do anything about the witch bitches. He can't fight the fucking zombie-infested Brachiosaurus. That's in this show. There's a zombie-infested Brachiosaurus. I think it's a Brachiosaurus, right? The fucking long necks from Never Before Time. Or no, Never Before Time. Yeah, that's the title, right? It's been a while since I've seen those movies. Anyway, point is, long necks. There's a fucking massive, full-grown long neck that gets infected by a zombie virus and just chases fucking Spear for like a whole day straight. It's awesome. And there's a lot of stuff in here that Brock just straight up won't be able to deal with. He's good. He's awesome. I love Brock. I love Venture Brothers. Great show, great character, great series. But he is kind of out of his element here. I just don't see him getting through all of these trouble. The best he can do is avoid all of this shit, much in the same way that Spear was able to avoid it. However, the way that Spear was able to avoid it was a lot of circumstance, and he also teamed up with a fucking T-Rex to help him, like Spear and Fang are the main characters. It's the superpowered Neanderthal that is Spear and a fucking T-Rex, and like they team up and they deal with all the stuff they have to deal with. You putting Brock by himself in these same situations, he is so fucked. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and join the membership. Remember, join the membership, you get exclusive access to unique videos that no one else can get. Nobody, absolutely nobody, just you, one single person, you and no one else. Don't you feel so fucking special? You should. You're a fucking beautiful snowflake. And don't forget to check down below in the pinned comment where there is a link to the Discord, as well as my second channel where all the non-survival challenges go. If you are just so sick of survival challenges and you're like, I'm a fucking precious snowflake, I don't want to be here doing this, I want to do something else, go on over there and check that shit out. It's fucking right there. Yeah, only for you. Go for it. Next up, we have Grog Strongjaw from Vox Machina. And yes, we were talking about the show on Amazon Prime, not the tabletop with Matt Mercer and all of them. I didn't watch it. I'm not going to. Like, 2 of their D&D sessions is the length of an entire season of Vox Machina. I'm just gonna watch the season of Vox Machina. And if you've seen Vox Machina, I think what I'm gonna say might actually surprise you. I don't think that Grog is really any stronger than Spear is physically. I mean, don't get me wrong, he does have stuff in here that seems like it goes past what Spear can do in terms of physical strength, but it's not anything that he does himself. It's like not physical stuff. Like if you look at the stuff he's capable of lifting, the stuff he's capable of throwing, the stuff he's capable of breaking, it's all the same shit that we see Spear do, like identical. They both lift up giant fucking boulders and huge animals. They can both break through metal and stone like it's no big deal. It's all the same shit. They're both capable of dodging arrows and fighting dozens and dozens of dudes at a time. I would actually argue that Spear has taken on more dudes at a time than Grog has. He's literally taken on an entire village of fucking Vikings by himself. Fang did eventually come in to help, but he took on a large majority of them before Fang even fucking showed up. I would even argue that most stats, even outside of physical ones, Spear is just more impressive than Grog. He's very clearly smarter. He's a better tracker. He's a better builder and crafter. He's just shown throughout the 2 seasons of Primal that despite being a character that exists before the existence of language, like he doesn't even know what language is in season 1 of this show, he just shows a lot more intelligence than anything that Grog does. The thing that gives Grog the advantage here, possibly an advantage over Spear, is the fact that he is a magical being with magical items. That's really it. While Spear does seem better in basically every single way, his weapon is still a spear. It's a fucking stick with a stone tied to the end of it. Eventually he gets a sword that he steals off a Viking, but even then it's like a broken piece of shit sword that he just finds and just starts hurling that at people. If you go over to Grog, he literally has magical weapons that are capable of amplifying his physical power and extreme degree. He has a magically imbued Berserk rage, magical gauntlets that increase his size and all of his stats tremendously. These are the things that make him physically better, at least as far as physical strength is concerned, when compared to someone like Spear. Is that going to be enough for him to do really, really well in Primal in a way that Spear didn't? No, not at all. Grog only knows how to do one thing, and that's fight, and that's not really enough. We don't even have evidence that he's capable of hunting things. In Vox Machina, he is one character in a team of characters, each of which have different skills that help the whole. Grog's thing, the only thing that he does, is he can take hits and he can dish them out, and literally nothing else. At one point in the show, Grog is mind controlled by an enemy and forced to attack the rest of Vox Machina, and it's very clearly shown that the entire other group of Vox Machina, all the members outside of Grog, can't take on Grog in a fight. He could literally solo the entire team by himself. We've seen him get 20, 30 fucking arrows shot in his body, and he doesn't even really care that they're in there. He just keeps fighting. This is what he excels at beyond anything else. But again, It's the only thing he excels at. How is he gonna survive in a world surrounded by these giant dinosaurs and all this crazy bullshit when we don't even know if he could fucking feed himself properly without dying? The world that Vox Machina takes place in has cities and societies and stores and shops and things of this nature, and none of this shit exists in Primal. It's not there. We've seen Grog lose his fucking mind and go berserk after going just a couple days without drinking alcohol. Where is he gonna get alcohol in Primal? They don't even have alcohol on the starter fucking island of the show. It doesn't exist yet. No one's invented it. And while his physical strength will be great enough for him to take on most things, because to be honest with you, for the most part, he doesn't really have to hunt that much because things are always going to be constantly trying to hunt him. So he can really just put himself out there and wait for something to attack him and then kill it and eat it that way. That's possible. Can he cook? Probably not, but whatever, he'll figure it out, maybe. The problem isn't so much the big-ass, overpowered monster things. I mean, Grog himself has crushed the fucking head of a massive dragon. He had help doing it, and he was amped and all this kind of stuff, but he did do it, so, you know, give him a little bit of credit where credit is due. The problem is all of the other bullshit that exists here. The fucking time-stopping, mind-controlling witches, the zombie plague, the demon Vikings who are, like, made out of lava. The fuck is Grog gonna do to any of that? His physical power isn't enough to overcome those kind of things, so he's gonna go down. And honestly, it's kind of arguable if his physical power is going to come over all of the major fucking dinosaurs. It's going to come over most of them, but not necessarily like the Megalodon. If he comes face to face with the Megalodon, there's a big fucking Megalodon. It's like the size of a 6-7 story building. It's considerably bigger than the dragons that he has to fight against. And it's in the water where he's going to have a significant disadvantage. So I think for the most part, Grog is going to do okay here. Like I said, if he's just like killing things and eating and surviving and he doesn't run into anything too dangerous, he'll be okay. But if he runs to literally any of the magical haxy bullshit that exists, he's done. And if he can't figure out how to like survive here, like he can't build a shelter or make food for himself, which we never see him do, then he might also be dead. At the end of the day, in order to survive the world of Primal, you need to have more skills than just killing things. There's a little more to it than that, and Grog is pretty hardcore lacking. Next up on the list, we have Sabertooth from Marvel Comics. And as far as comparing him to Grog go, I actually think that Sabertooth is physically stronger than Grog, but has less damage output than Grog does with his magical weapons. Like, we've seen Sabertooth rip open tank armor with his bare hands and claws. That's something that we don't see Grog being capable of doing anything near in terms of just his own physical strength. He struggles to rip through steel and things like this with his physical strength. However, with his weapons and him smashing his weapons onto things and swinging them and shit like that, there's like one scene where he's like really high up in the air and he leaps down when he's fighting, what's his name? Fucking, I don't know. The dude who's like the charge of his clan. He comes down swinging Zax, chops him in half, and hits the ground so hard he makes a massive crater in the stone and causes like this outward blast that throws everyone back, and they hit columns and the fucking columns break and shit. Like, it's a massive explosion of force. And that's really something that we don't see Sabertooth do anywhere near. However, you can't give Grog credit for doing that of his own physical force, because one, gravity was very heavily involved, and again, he was swinging a fucking magical weapon. We've never seen him do anything near this without a magical weapon, with just his fists. And honestly, even with magical weapons, we don't see him do anything even close to this before or after this scene throughout the whole show. You also the fact that Sabertooth, much like Brock Sampson, is very, very heavily trained in survival skills and all kinds of like military bullshit. Like all kinds of shit. He's a master tracker, master hunter, he's a master at stealth. He can do all the same shit that Brock can do, but unlike Brock, you add all these stupidly overpowered fucking superpowers. Super strength, super speed, climbing abilities, a ridiculously overpowered healing factor. And also like Brock, he would really enjoy being in the Primal universe, as he very much enjoys his solitude and being out in the middle of nowhere and hunting shit and killing shit and murder and death. He just fucking loves that shit. Actually, this character's very similar to Brock Sampson. He's basically an evil, superpowered Brock Sampson in a lot of ways. I didn't realize how similar these two were until I started talking about it. They're pretty similar. So do I think that Sabertooth will be able to survive in the Primal universe? Mostly. I would say like a solid 99-ish% of the universe he would survive in. Just if he's just hunting animals and, you know, dinosaurs and fighting big monsters, yeah, he'll do fine. I can't think of a single giant monster he won't fight against and beat. Even against things like the Megalodon. What's the Megalodon gonna do to him? He's gonna eat him? Who gives a fuck? He'll just kill him from the inside. The problem is all the haxy bullshit abilities. There's like soul manipulation powers and mind manipulation powers and time freeze powers and a bunch of bullshit like that it's gonna be a fucking problem for him because he doesn't have any resistance to any of that stuff. It's gonna fuck him over really, really bad. So yeah, I think he's going to do considerably better than Grog, because I don't even know if Grog will survive even if you don't have anything hunt him at all, because he's just not very smart. Like, that's the whole joke with Grog, is he's fucking stupid. Sabertooth is fucking far from stupid and could survive for as long as he wants to survive for, as long as he can avoid all the magical bullshit. I mean, it is possible that some of the bigger monsters and dinosaurs and shit are capable of killing him, because all you would really have to do is behead him or crush his skull or in some way destroy his brain, and he'll be done. He'll be gone. He can't regen from that. This is proven. Wolverine has killed Sabertooth once by beheading him. We know that's the case. I know there was that thing that was going around for some reason that Wolverine and Sabertooth are capable of regenning from a single drop of blood. That's bullshit. It's from a storyline that was back in like the 70s or 80s, where Sabertooth pulled the heart out of Wolverine and he had a drop of blood that hit this magic crystal that then gave him like this massive boost in power, and then he regenerated instantly from that drop of blood. But then he also had a bunch of crazy cosmic powers that were gifted to him by the crystal. Under normal circumstances, both Sabertooth and Wolverine will be killed by beheadings, just to cut their head off and leave their head detached for a little bit. And if you have giant dinosaurs fucking eating you and ripping you apart and stuff, the odds of that happening is actually pretty good. I don't think it will. I think that Sabertooth is skilled enough and powerful enough that's not going to happen, but it is possible. At the end of the day, he's really only going to die if he comes across any of the weird fucking magical bullshit. Like the fucking witch cult bitches who rip souls out and mind control shit. They'll kill him. They'll fucking destroy him. There's nothing he can do about it. Last up, but certainly not least, we have Guts from the Berserk series, and has kind of been the theme for this video for some reason. I don't know why. I wasn't mean to do this. Let's compare him to Sabertooth. For some reason, I keep comparing characters to the previous character. I don't usually do that, but we're going to do that right here. In terms of physical combat abilities, strength, stats, combat skill, I actually think that Sabertooth is superior to Guts. I think Sabertooth would beat Guts in a fight. I don't think that Guts is really capable of taking Sabertooth down. I mean, he could try and cut his head off or whatever like that, but Sabertooth has been shown to be more agile, arguably a better fighter all around, and even physically more powerful than Guts is. You also have the fact that Guts doesn't have the benefit of a crazy-ass regen, which means he is more likely to be killed than Sabertooth is. So why is Guts ahead of Sabertooth? Simple. Basically, every Hax that has been introduced in Primal up to this point is something that Guts is shown being able to completely resist. He has guards on his soul to protect him from soul manipulation. His mind is protected. Fire basically doesn't even affect him, which means the big-ass fire demon dude that tries to kill Spear and the fire demon dude that shows up in season 2 isn't even going to be able to harm Guts, and Guts is going to be able to kill that thing pretty easily. This means that the only thing that Guts is really going to have to deal with is the non-magical bullshit. The normal dinosaurs and monsters and creatures, because none of the hacks are really going to work on him. That means that there's no 100% guarantee that Guts will die in the same way that there is for Sabertooth. If Sabertooth enters the Primal universe, he is very unlikely to die by any of the normal monsters, dinosaurs, all the shit that he fights against. But he's guaranteed to die if he comes across the Haxy bullshit. He has no defenses for it. They will kill him immediately. If Guts shows up, he's going to have a harder time on all the monsters and dinosaurs and all the crazy stuff, but he literally is unaffected by all the magical bullshit. So there's no guarantee he's going to die. If they want to kill him, they have to actually overcome him and physically defeat him, which will be easier to do with Guts than it will be for Sabertooth, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Guts is still physically skilled and powerful enough to fight basically everything within the Primal universe. Really, the only Haxy bullshit that Guts is going to have to deal with is the fucking dinosaur zombie apocalypse, because there really isn't any evidence that he won't be infected by a biological zombie plague. There's no evidence that it's magical or soul manipulation or anything like that. It's just a fucking zombie virus. So no evidence really exists. So if that comes near him and he gets attacked by a giant Brachiofucking-saurus that on contact will turn him into a zombie, he will be fucked. But I mean, that's easy enough to avoid, right? Just don't fucking go where the zombie virus is. If you run into a thing that has a zombie virus, don't fucking go near it. You're not stupid, Guts. If worse comes to worse and the zombie virus completely takes over the entire island, he can just make a fucking boat and leave the island and go to the next part, because season 2 actually takes place on a whole other landmass than season 1, because Spear makes a boat in between seasons, which by the way is something Grog can't do. So if the zombie virus actually takes over the entire island, there's nowhere Grog can go. He is not shown in the show to be capable of building a boat. He's very, very stupid. This is something that both Sabertooth and Guts can do. Well, actually, that is kind of cool, because Sabertooth will not be affected by the zombie virus for sure. We know that infections and things like this don't work on him. In fact, at one point in the comics, Marvel zombies actually did appear in the 616 universe of Marvel, and they did infect Wolverine, and he just healed from it. It didn't even really affect him all that badly, and then he just killed the zombies. And Sabertooth has been confirmed multiple times to have an even better healing factor than Wolverine does, so the zombie virus would not affect it. So basically, the one Hax that actually would fuck up Guts will not work on Sabertooth. Sabertooth, but all of the other hacks that would fuck up Sabertooth isn't going to do anything to Guts. Oh, and Time Freeze. Time Freeze kind of fucks up everybody, you know, including Guts. But that's not really killing him, you know? Like, if the witches capture Guts with Time Freeze and are like, we're gonna rip his soul out and blah, 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 and they try it and it doesn't work, like, oh, well, we don't really have any use for you? Like, I mean, what are we gonna, I guess we could stab you and kill you, maybe, you know? But if the soul shit doesn't work and the mind control shit doesn't work, like, what, I just don't see the purpose of the witches keeping her. They're not fucking cannibals, you know what I mean? Just let them go. It would just be out of spite at that point if they decide to kill him. So yeah, I think that Guts can die. He can be defeated. I don't think it's a situation that a lot of Berserk fans are probably gonna get behind where he would just slaughter the entire universe no matter what. He is not. There are massive, massive creatures and all kinds of monsters and really powerful things that will cause problems for him. And the fact that he doesn't really have any real healing factor or society to go back to, no ways of really helping himself if he takes serious damage or anything, he just kind of has to deal with that shit. That's gonna be a big problem, which is something that Sabertooth isn't gonna have to deal with because of his healing factor. That's all gonna be issues. But he is extremely skilled. He is extremely powerful. It's not gonna be easy for him to be taken down, and he's very, very intelligent. So he should be okay as long as he uses fucking common sense and doesn't throw himself in a super dangerous situation that gets him killed. That's mostly the same case for Sabertooth, except if Sabertooth just accidentally bumps into the witches or something else like that exists, he's fucked. If Guts accidentally bumps into the witches, he's not necessarily fucked. He might be okay. He actually may be able to escape and be all right. So yeah, you know, Guts does last. I think that fits. But that's going to be all for me today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and join the membership. Remember, join the membership. You get exclusive access to unique videos that no one else can get. And don't forget to check down below in the pinned comment for a link to the Discord, as well as a link to my second channel where I have not that many videos, only 2 right now, but I'm going to add more. It's going to be great. I have a review of Superman the movie over there. Go check that out if you are interested. And always remember, y'all stay safe out there, you hear?